All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Run! Go! This is the podcast!
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a podcast?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and podcast. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey everyone, welcome to Get to the Podcast. Let's get to the podcast with the number 2. My name is Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
You fucking bitch, you're gonna throw me in the fire.
Oh my God!
I'll kill you.
45 people minimally just like turned off the fucking podcast.
Yeah, but there's a reason for it.
Yeah. It's
You stupid bitch, you filthy slut. I'll teach you to fuck with me.
I'm not gonna try
now
the
you
light
do it.
version. No.
Oh man, that's really
I tried
how
to
to-
lighten
There are
it.
people that like
There are
turn
people
this
who are
on
not
with like their
listening.
kids,
What
like,
is
oh
going
no,
on?
these guys are PC, and like, this is literally how.
If this is their first introduction to the podcast, that was that's all they're gonna think we're doing.
They just got in
the
an
ones
accident
with the
if
potty
they're
mouths.
They're
It's
just
like,
cutting the
it's like Eddie
accident
Murphy
if
when he
they're
says
driving.
like foreigners come to him and be like, "Hey, Eddie Murphy, the fuck you guy, eh? Suck my dick, eh, you motherfucker." Yeah. So, but that's a line from
That's
the
a line
original
from
Child's
Chucky,
Play.
Child's Play. Yeah. I always called it Chucky, but
Yeah. I
Child's
always called it
Play.
Chucky.
Yeah.
Because it's like Freddy and Frankenstein, Halloween. You know, you just
Yeah.
start to associate the character with it. But the original movie and the first 3, I think, were called Child's Play, and the character's name is Chucky. But in the original one, there's a scene where the mother grabs him and she's like telling him to talk because she thinks he's possessed or whatever, but he hasn't really shown her any evident signs.
Yeah.
So she lights the fireplace, she holds him up, and she's like, "Talk to me, you son of a bitch!" And then he goes
throw
from like
you
this
in the
cute
fire.
or I'll throw you in the fire. He has this cute little face, and then he turns you stupid bitch, you filthy slut. He just fuck with me. He starts like goes off
He
on
goes
her.
crazy.
And
Brad Dourif.
Yeah, and he gets the better of her somehow.
Yeah.
I think it was just that awkward doll.
What's crazy? It's like when you watch the scene, he's like forcing himself on her, but he's a doll that weighs like 2 pounds. like when you watch the scene, she's like pushing him away, and he's like going after her, and I'm like, where did all this strength come
It's because
from?
his physics,
he's
once
in
he
the
comes
air.
to life,
He
his
can't even
physics
brace
changes.
himself
That's
on
true.
anything.
He
Yeah,
must
you
have
know.
his own like gravitational pull or something.
Maybe because he doesn't have the ability. Like when you're that
He is
high up in the
possessed.
air, he doesn't have any grounded thing to push off on. He doesn't have any. You know, he's
an
in
awkward
the air.
position.
That's
You-
what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
what
There
is
is
he pushing
always
off on?
Yeah.
a rational
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make
explanation
sense.
to the elementals.
Yeah.
Not in 1988, there wasn't.
No, there wasn't.
So this movie came out
I
in
don't know why
88.
that. It reminds me of Total Recall for some reason. So that like Quato.
He
like the
looks like
animatronic
Quato,
and,
yeah.
You can see
Oh,
like that
yeah.
jerky movement.
Look it up. I wonder if it's the same people did it.
It's
Those,
probably-
those
yeah.
were
same,
within 2 years.
Same
effects
special
company?
guy,
Yeah, it's within 2 years of each other. Yeah, that's true. He
Probably.
does have that Quato look to his. It's in his eyes actually, and his rounded cheeks almost.
But it's just like the animatronic aspect.
But there's actually a
of it.
look almost that's not too dissimilar. You know,
Yeah.
like if they said, "Oh yeah, Quato was just a repurposed Chucky doll,"
That'd
I'd be
be
like,
amazing.
I'd be like,
That'd be
"Holy shit, that
interesting.
makes sense."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a little history on Chucky. I was a mean child to my sisters. I was the only boy, so I had to do something.
Oh,
to
were
kinda
we all?
Had to.
gain
Were we all? Yeah.
equality.
No, I wasn't because my sister was 10, 11
she
years
whooped
older
your
than me.
ass.
She whooped my ass.
Well, I was trying to
Dangle me off the fucking roof and be like, "I'll teach you to fuck with me, you little bitch."
I was trying to gain equality in the house.
She's gonna listen to this
She
and be
would
like, "What the
not- she-
fuck?"
Yeah, she used to, like, she was so afraid of the movie. She would not walk in front of the TV.
Yeah.
She would not.
Like Poltergeist? Are you talking about Poltergeist?
No, I'm talking
no.
about Child's Play.
Oh, like if the
Play,
movie
yeah.
was playing, she wouldn't
Yeah.
walk in front of the TV.
And
I thought she was afraid of getting sucked into the TV like Poltergeist.
No,
Okay.
Child's Play. And I got my ass handed to me by my mom one time because I took her doll and I drew eyebrows on it. I made him look mean as shit. And I put like 3 of them under her bed cover.
Oh, Jesus.
Yo, she was crying. Did I feel horrible? I don't know if I felt horrible or not. I feel horrible today.
You were probably laughing then.
But I was probably
like you are now. You're
No,
still
I got-
laughing about it.
Yo, within
30 years
like-
later.
Within 5 minutes, my mom was in my room whooping my ass, so I didn't have time to laugh. No Brazilian moms, they just teleport and whip your ass. Don't matter where you are. You fucking down the street and you
It's
do
all like
something.
coffee.
Yeah.
But that movie, the first one is it's interesting because the movie's got very B and schlocky, and I guess you could kind of maybe say the original one is, but it doesn't play out like that as much. It's very
It was trendy in that time. What
it's
child
more-
play was.
Yeah, and the way the movie, if you watch it today, it actually kind of holds up. Like it's a little more detective-y. That's a word. Detective-y. It's
What in
more
Spanish,
thriller.
like you roll your R.
Dude,
more thrillerish.
the special effects guy worked on Aliens and Predator.
Oh,
cool.
interesting.
Like everything. Like this guy worked on Nightmare on Elm Street, Tremors.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Tons of Army of Darkness,
Damn.
Pumpkinhead.
Did he do Total
That makes
Recall?
sense.
Jason Goes to Hell.
Did you do Total Recall?
No.
No, okay.
That's the one
But he
thing
did a
it's
lot
not
of other
like.
ones we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So the way that it plays out. So the basic premise of the original one, then we'll get into the new one. But the original one is it starts off with this chase where Chris Sarandon, some people might know him as Prince Humperdinck from Princess Bride. He's the cop, the detective in this movie, tracking down this serial killer bad guy.
Oh, no, sorry.
Anyways, okay. So he's
from now. Anyway.
I am to be married.
I keep saying anyway.
It keeps coming to me. Like
He's a commoner like yourselves.
you
Perhaps you might not find her so common.
No.
Now.
That for some reason the
That
way he
lag
delivers
between
it.
that and the now. Now.
I bring to you Princess Buttercup.
My father's last words were, "Love her as I loved her."
And there will be
I give you Queen Buttercup.
It's like his only line, and the whole everything else is like normal talking, but that scene for some reason as a kid always stuck out. Yeah.
So good. I love that movie so much. Anyways, that's Prince Humperdinck is the cop in this movie that's chasing this serial killer, bad guy, whatever. And he chases him into, the movie starts with the chase. He chases him into a toy store.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing that goes down. The guy ends up catching on fire. It's like a whole thing melts down and it goes insane. But before this happens, he grabs this doll and they knock out over this collection of, I think they're called Buddy dolls, which is Chucky, and he starts speaking this incantation, this fucking old tongue, speaking in tongues, crazy thing, and then it blows up, he melts, whatever, he dies. But what happened is he transferred his soul.
He was so fucking rational, and then he just blows up and dies.
I mean, it's a movie.
It was like 80s.
It's
Everybody just
1988.
like evaporated.
That
and
shit
then,
was acceptable.
Exactly.
In those
It was like
days.
cartoon, like
Yeah.
animation or whatever.
Yeah.
you know.
It's like when you watch one of those scenes at that time, you're like, oh my gosh, you're so on point.
Yes. so he then goes. His soul ends up transferring into this doll, which is weird because you think
That's a
he's
lot
a
of work
street
to
rat.
escape from a cop. Like you have to be really wanting to get
Because
away.
he says some shit to the cop. He's like, "I'm gonna find you in this next life, whatever." And he
Wait, no, isn't he
It's like this
dying?
cat and mouse thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
It's-
okay. Did I
But
miss
before
that
he
part?
then something, I don't know. Anyways, it's a cat and mouse thing between him and this cop. So they have this rivalry kind of a thing. He knows who he is, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking come back."
Yeah.
And you filthy slut, I'm gonna fucking teach you to fuck with me. So
Is it
so,
Brad Dourif that plays the guy?
Yeah, he plays him in the human form. So it's the only time you see Chucky really as a human is in this beginning of the first movie. Transfers his thing. Anyways, this homeless guy ends up getting this doll after the fire fucks up everything. He ends up getting this doll and then selling it on the street. The mom who these dolls are sold out for Christmas season.
Yeah.
And then she finds out this
like
guy in
Tickle
an
Me Elmo.
alleyway. This guy,
Like a
yes.
Tickle Me Elmo
This
moment,
guy in this
yep.
alleyway is selling this doll. And it's a little messed up, but she's like, okay, I'm gonna get this thing, and so she buys it, for a lot of money. But she got her fucking kid this doll that he wanted. He was obsessed with it because it's based off a TV show that her kid watches. He dresses up like Chucky with the overalls and everything like that. He's obsessed with it.
That's
So she
like
gets-
every child's programming.
So she gets him a fucking possessed Chucky doll.
Yeah, but she didn't know it's possessed.
No,
She-
I mean
she's
she
a good
didn't.
mother.
But you check
All
that.
good mothers buy
She bought it from
Chucky
some
dolls.
crack
buy
addict. in a
things from homeless people in back
homeless
alleys.
people. Yeah, it was covered in a little piss, little.
Dude,
little
she went
homeless
above
urine.
and beyond. Like most mothers would just be like, "Well, it wasn't at the store, so you're not getting it." And she was
She
like,
did
"Fuck
it during
that."
her work shift too. She was working at a department
Yeah.
store. She did it. She actually
She almost got fired.
Yeah,
getting
she
this
almost
shit.
did.
No.
She almost did. And in the new trailer, you see that she seems to work in a similar department store too. So
Yeah.
it looks like the new one's really borrowing from this original film. Now there have been a million Chucky films.
It's weird seeing Aubrey Plaza as a mother. I feel like I've never seen her in a
You
movie.
used to
play
her
a
being
mother.
younger, right?
Well, yeah, she always plays like like a single whatever.
Right.
That's like how she's been typecasted. But seeing her play a mother, and this is
But she's
weird.
like in between mine and your ages. Like,
No, she
so
could
makes
100%. Yeah, she
But
might
she'd
be a
never
mother.
really
I don't
played
know,
that,
but
yeah.
I'm just saying I've never seen her. Have
Yeah.
you? Seen her in
No,
another movie where-
the way she's playing this character is very different from anything I've seen
Yeah.
her play, and I like it. She seems to
Yeah, it
handle
looks
well
good in
from
the
the
trailer,
trailer.
yeah.
But the new movie is so there've been a million Chucky movies. They've all
Yes.
been sequels.
They're like
pretty
six
much.
What's her
or
name?
seven?
She plays
More,
in
I
a
think,
bunch
8,
of them.
9 or something like that.
No.
There's been a lot. Revenge, Bride, Seed.
Yeah, there's been Chucky 3.
Child's Play 1, 2, and 3.
I think
Those are
there
the
was
first
a-
one. Chucky's Bride.
Bride of Chucky, Seed
Bride-
of
yeah,
Chucky,
Bride of Chucky, Seed of
Curse
Chucky,
of Chucky.
Curse
Like,
of-
it's insane.
It's like
There's
literally
6.
like 6
This
films.
is the 7th
so
one.
yeah, 8 or 9.
There's only 6 I have right
Well,
now.
this
But that's
is-
still a lot.
This is
That
a
is a lot.
reboot.
But you're right. I was wrong.
Well, this is the
This
considered
is a
the
remake.
7th
Yeah,
one.
this is
remake.
reboot, remake. They're actually remaking the first film, so it's not a sequel.
Correct.
Right. So they're changing up some things. So whereas the other one was just a doll that was possessed,
Yes.
just that's all it was. This new one takes into account all of the technological advances since that time
Correct.
period. IoT, Internet of Things, smart enabled products, apps.
This is more of an AI takeover.
Yes, little cyborg.
Possibly.
Yes, because there are these dolls that kids sit in front of it and they mimic their facial movements.
Yeah.
There's facial recognition.
Yeah, my nephew has that little robot thing that actually looks at you.
Yeah.
And it recognizes who you are.
Yeah.
But
so
here's
that's
the thing
and
why-
it says his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking Chucky.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing why I don't like those dolls. For it to do that, for it to have access to information and stuff like that, it has to be connected to the internet.
Wow.
So when it comes to having little kids and stuff and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
I mean, you got parental controls, I'm sure, but still.
I'm still that. I mean, how do
Yeah.
you know that? I mean, we've heard about cell phones listening in. We've
Yeah.
heard about cell phones recording from your phone
Yeah,
camera. and
Amazon has like thousands of employees listening
Yeah.
to the Alexa.
Like, how the
was that was on like
Something like that.
CNN or something? like,
Amazon's dumb
yesterday.
decision.
we should probably verify our information before we just willy-nilly throw out headlines.
I'm
You haven't even
I'm
you
trying-
read the
Research
headline. You
ourselves.
didn't
You
read
can
the
trust
article.
me. Who you got trust?
don't read
You got
articles.
trust- I just read headlines.
Yeah, you're a
I don't waste my
headliner.
time reading those details. Like I get the gist. There's too much information to read everything. Am I right?
That's
Diego?
that's
Come on.
very
Diego
true.
knows
There's a
what's
lot
up.
of information, but like, I want to know who the fuck thought it was a good idea to come up in Amazon to come up where you install a camera in your house for deliveries, where you allow the delivery person to come in
into
your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
No, you're talking about Ring, though, right?
No. This was Amazon.
They're doing
Amazon delivery.
Well, Amazon has Ring now.
Yeah, so it's either associated
Oh, I
with
know what you're
Ring-
talking about.
Yeah,
Where there's a new thing where they're like, your delivery man will deliver them inside of your house.
correct.
Because so many people are getting robbed.
That
It's
is the
like
pro-
there's
there
a
is-
huge
I know.
problem. It may not, maybe
It is
not
a
around
problem,
here, but
And then
but the solution is the Amazon store pickup locations, not letting the
I agree.
delivery
People
person
people are
into
so
your
lazy
house.
though. People are like,
That's your
yeah,
fucking
come in
problem,
my
then.
house, do whatever you want, play with my stuff, like steal my stuff. Like people don't care.
I
They
get-
would rather you come into their house. And then,
But if they have a
I don't
camera on
know.
you the whole time and you're a logged employee like that's supposed to be there at that time,
don't-
there's a
honestly-
lot of accountability for it. So I do get it. I wouldn't do it.
I'm uncomfortable.
I have
Absolutely.
neighbors,
That's my private-
I have neighbors that'll help
Inside
me
my
out.
home.
If I'm a
it's my
delivery
private
guy,
space.
I don't want to go and I wouldn't want to go into people's houses. I don't even like working in people's houses when they're not home. If
Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
doing
Yeah, just for
whatever.
accusation purposes.
Yeah,
It's
somebody
just-
else breaks in right
it
after
makes
you,
me
and then it's a
uncomfortable.
goddamn, it's a my cousin Vinny situation.
Yeah.
Where it's that perfect coincidence where you're in a similar car. A couple minutes later, somebody else drives up
You're
and
just
shoots
setting
the
yourself
clerk,
up
and then all of a
sooner or
sudden-
later. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, hold on. So I just found this interesting thing on here. It's like all these things you didn't know about Chucky. So Chucky's a name in the original screenplay.
Charles.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's did you see this? Charles Lee Ray is his name, which is from
It's in the movie.
yeah, his name's Charles Lee Ray is the
He's-
character's name.
Yeah, it's Lee
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Lee Harvey Oswald. Oh, did they bring this
Ray-
up in the movie?
No, I've looked all this because I saw them. I watched the movie again like a few months ago, and I always like to look at IMDb trivia and other things, and they
Yeah.
mention it in there.
It's
Go
like
ahead, you
Charles
say it.
Manson, Lee Harvey Oswald, and James Earl Ray, who assassinated Martin Luther King. So
Who's
it's like
Earl Ray?
all these
serial
all
killer
these
names, and they
crazy
put
people.
it's
Yeah.
kind of
together,
smart.
yeah.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
all serial killers have 3 names.
And the guy that directed it wrote the screenplay. I didn't know that. The guy who
is
directed
it
Tom Holland.
Yeah. Which is the
Oh,
guy who
wow.
plays Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
The kid that
30
plays
years
Spider-Man.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrote and directed this movie.
It's
Yeah.
a different Tom Holland.
Yeah.
So that's what is that all you're gonna say?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, I already knew it, so now it was
I haven't
uneventful.
read
Yo,
the
I thought
rest.
he was coming with some
There's a
knowledge,
lot-
and he just
there's
like
a lot
fat.
more.
Yeah.
Just one. Just all I
So
got.
his name is Charles Lee
But,
Ray in the thing, which is where Chucky comes from. The serial killer guy's name is Charles.
Yeah.
So
But it's still crazy to me that
he
this-
came with like, all right, I got a list of things for Chucky. His name used
No,
to be
I
Charles
had a
Lee.
list, but I only read the one thing and then I stopped.
it's actually a good thing, but because I knew it, it was
There we go.
anticlimactic, and I
All
cut you
right,
off.
all right.
I'm sorry. It was good.
You know
It's
what?
interesting because you didn't know. Because where does Chucky come from? Because the doll's name is not Chucky.
Yeah.
The doll's name is Buddy, I think.
Yeah.
Buddy, yeah, that's
So-
what they say in the movie.
How did Chucky come
when
in?
I first watched the trailer, I was like,
Chucky
"What is
short
this?"
for Charles.
Yeah, but how did him being recognized as Chucky in the film?
I think
I think that was the doll's name, right?
No,
Each
no.
doll had a different name,
No.
and his name was Chucky.
No. Because Chucky is Chuck is short for Charles, and I think the guy went by Chucky. His official name is Charles Lee Ray.
That's the behind the scene, right?
No.
But in the on the box,
Is Buddy.
It's Buddy.
It was
yeah.
a Buddy.
They're
The
Buddy
little-
dolls.
Buddy?
Yeah,
The little
they're
kid
all
calls him Buddy
There's
the
a
whole
TV
time. The little kid's like,
he
"Hey,
calls him
buddy, buddy."
Because there's a TV show he watches, and there's a character on the TV show. His name is Buddy. He wears those overalls, and then they made this doll from the TV show. The kid's only like 5 years old.
yeah.
So it's a little show about this character named Buddy. Chucky is not the doll's name. Chucky is the guy's name.
So my
make sense?
question was,
Yeah.
how did the kid and they come to find out that his real name was?
They don't call him Chucky in the movie.
It was just okay.
Yeah.
I haven't. It's been a while since I've seen that film. so
yeah.
I was trying to understand.
There's
I
no-
was trying
they
to say
call-
how the translation happened where people like knew him as Chucky.
Yeah, no. I think there's other thing. He goes and visits one of his ex partners, like
Yeah,
crime
and
partners
that's
at
how
one
they-
point.
yeah,
He might
yeah.
call him Chucky. He might call himself Chucky at some point. I don't remember. There's the guy who taught him. He went. There's a whole subplot about how he got this ability to transfer his soul, and it's this old voodoo type of a fucking guy in this apartment, and that's the guy who
So
taught
Weekend
him.
at Bernie's
He went and trained
too.
with him.
There's a tie-in. There's a theory that Weekend at Bernie's too.
Is this the
connects-
second on your list?
I just made
Oh,
that
because of
up.
the voodoo thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is that what you're talking about? I'm like, what are you talking about? Because there's a
The
whole
voodoo.
voodoo
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. They bring
Okay.
Bernie back. What do you?
I was like, what are
Are
you
you
talking
doing
about?
like
Oh.
this like whole
Yeah, you
season?
got it.
I got
Are
it.
you doing like this whole season of Game of Thrones where like
Oh my
you throwing
God.
one thing in and 3
Wait.
episodes later the reveal is
You
gonna
resolve
happen?
it.
I just read this thing online where there's this theory that Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Titanic actually survived and then basically faked his death or whatever, but like survived and then became oh god, what's that movie?
Howard Hughes, Aviator?
No, the one that Great Gatsby. He
Oh, he
became
became
because it's like
Gatsby,
if
'cause
you
you
look
don't
at
know
the
who he is, his
timeline,
history, yeah.
like the amount of years that passed, like his
few
age
years.
in Great Gatsby is like it's like 4 years later or something like
Yeah.
that, and it makes total sense timeline.
No,
wise.
because isn't the Great Gatsby in the 20s?
It's
Isn't
like
it Roaring
22.
20s? Yeah,
or
and-
no 20. Hold on, maybe. It's a
And
little bit
isn't
later.
Titanic in
I thought
33?
Titanic. No,
it's
Titanic was like
1917.
18, 17 or something.
Not 1817, 1917 or something. It's 1900s. Are you actually thinking it's in the 1800s? Did you just
No, I'm
fucking say
pretty
that?
sure.
You think
Did I
the
say
Titanic
1800s? No,
1817?
19. Sorry, did I say 18?
Yeah, man.
No, 1912, dude.
1912. Right. All right. That's
Yeah.
right. I should know. I knew that.
It was like
What the
it's
fuck
like
am I-
10 years later.
Was it 19? Oh no, King Kong was in 1933.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm relating those two.
I don't what? What is happening?
I was like, where did I get 33 from? And I'm like, oh right, the movie King Kong I think came out in
I think
33.
that- yeah, I
Look up
think
King
that was
Kong.
in
Did he come out in 1933? It might seem weird, but there's some sort of word association where Titanic, because there's the big ship where they bring King Kong over on the big ship.
Yeah.
It's from 1933, right?
I
The
mean,
movie?
they're two epic kind of,
Yeah. It's just they're not really related, but for some reason, word association, I was like King Kong.
1933, yeah.
right. There you go.
Yeah.
That's where my mind went. It's weird, man. It's weird what the mind does.
Yeah.
Goes to weird
Associations,
places.
man.
Very
Associations.
weird. Yeah. So,
But anyway, I
that's
love
funny,
that
yeah.
shit where people connect random movies.
Right.
Like if you found out that.
So if you
Weekend
found
at
out
Bernie's
Child's
2
Play and Weekend at Bernie's 2 were connected, the same guy who taught Chucky to fucking go into a doll's body
Yeah.
is the same guy who
The same
basically
voodoo
keeping
guy.
Bernie dancing underwater with the headphones. Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
So anyways, but the guy wasn't a bad guy who taught him, but it was like this guy was his student. Chucky was like his student or whatever and came to learn from him. He didn't realize he was going to use it for evil or something like that.
Yeah, kind of like how Voldemort,
Yeah,
learned about the Horcruxes.
Exactly. And I
Same
think
thing.
Chucky shows up and does kill him in the movie eventually. He's going back and killing all the people.
In the second one.
In the first one. He kills the voodoo guy. I'm pretty sure. He shows up.
Jesus,
and
I
kills
need
him.
to rewatch this.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on in
do.
that first movie.
I'm just gonna rewatch the ones with Jennifer Tilly.
That's Bride.
See,
Yeah,
I
she
feel like I
becomes his
watched
bride,
that
yeah.
and I didn't like it.
I miss
didn't
her.
like the
They're
later
very
ones.
B movie.
Yeah, he's very mean.
Yeah.
He's like less scary because it became more of a comedy.
Yeah, and it became.
And he's
it's,
less like all these
But they became
jokes
a-
and
like a
one-liners
B
and-
film.
it's very C. It's
Yeah.
very B. I mean, the original could be argued that it was a B film, but it's
The original?
the
Brad
original-
Dourif is an Oscar-nominated actor.
from Lord of the Rings.
Didn't
He's
it
not
come
Oscar
out, like,
nominated.
No,
around-
he got nominated for an Oscar for One
Oh,
Flew Over the Cuckoo's
yep.
Nest.
No, not One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Look it
pretty
up. I could be
sure.
wrong. I think it was for something else. But he's the original movie is good. It could be argued if you watch it today.
It's
You
solid.
could argue. I like it. I
It
think
came
it
out around
holds
the
up.
trend with Freddy,
Yeah,
Jason.
look,
It
yeah,
came
it's
with those
88, it's
trends.
a little bit.
yeah.
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 It was. Holy
One
shit, you're right.
Oscar
One
nomination,
Flew Over-
1975.
That's pretty, wow, I really didn't know that
Yeah.
he was nominated for One Flew. I thought he was nominated for that other film.
There's a lot of people in that movie,
sorry.
like you forget.
We need to update you, Nick.
I thought he
Who's
was
in it?
nominated for
We need
Dune.
to update
No, I'm just
Nick.
kidding. I thought he was
Was
nominated.
he in Dune?
He was in Dune per this. He was in Dune and he was in
I
love
the
that.
original Dune.
Yeah, and he was in Mississippi Burning.
Oh wow.
So he was in. Just for people who don't know, this is Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
If anybody
Yeah.
remembers the one with the guy who's keeping the king all fucked up, I'm speaking in layman's terms here. That kept the king
Such
all
a
like
great
decrepit
name.
and
He
was
owned
the
that
piece
name.
of
He's
shit.
like,
Wormtongue.
he's like, that's
Great.
my name, Wormtongue. What's
Yeah.
the problem? Like,
Yeah.
That's
And
like the fucked
He was
up
obsessed with the guy's niece and wanted to bang the girl.
yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know if that was in the books, but he definitely did. He definitely did a thing with the king in the book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
was
don't
really
know
good.
about. the
Anyways,
niece
but
thing,
that's the guy.
Yeah.
He actually and he voices Chucky in all the movies except for this new one. So now this new one, you have Mark Hamill voicing Chucky, which is kind of cool because Mark Hamill is an accomplished voiceover artist. He's most famously known for doing the Joker
Yeah.
in the animated series, and a lot of people, his voice. He may not have ever played him in a live
good.
action, but that was good. His voice is the quintessential Joker.
Yeah.
From that series.
Yeah.
And if you watch, and if you go on YouTube right now, just watch a collection of him doing that voice. It's incredible.
It's amazing. He's
Yeah.
such a he's a true vocal artist, and if you go to his bio and see some of the voiceovers that he's done,
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
Yeah, he's done a
his
lot of
range.
other ones.
Yeah, it's crazy.
God, I can't even think of him right now, but he's done a
But he's
lot of
done a
other
lot,
ones
yeah,
you
yeah.
know of. You know, movies and shows.
You're like, oh
and-
my gosh, that's Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
I
like,
didn't
oh
know.
crap,
Which
he did-
also is known as Luke Skywalker.
Luke
If you
Skywalker.
don't connect the two, you should watch TV
Yeah, exactly.
or a movie, just one.
So exactly. So he's doing the voice, and you only. So we've gotten a couple trailers so far, but the newest trailer it ends with Chucky saying a few words. And it's Mark Hamill doing
Yeah.
it. I really like it. Neil was a little thrown off because he knows it's Mark
I can
Hamill, so
hear-
he hears Mark Hamill's voice in
Yeah.
it.
I can hear his voice.
But I think that might just be because
No,
you
it's
know
crazy.
it's
It's
Mark Hamill.
Brad Dourif. Like, I'm looking at all these other movies. He continued to do the voice. I didn't realize.
Yeah, in
that.
all the movies.
That's crazy.
All of them up until this new one. Yeah.
Who did Pippin or whatever? Not Pippin. Mary. Mary did a voice from Lord of the Rings. The actor who plays
Yeah,
Mary. I
yeah.
forget what his name is. He did the voice, I think, of his kid. Didn't Chucky have a kid? He like bangs the chick and then they have a kid.
Seed
or
of
something?
Seed of Chucky. Yeah.
Seed of
Oh, he did the
Chucky.
voice.
He did the voice of it.
Oh, that's
yeah,
funny.
it
So
was like
two Lord of the
Jennifer
Rings
Tilly.
people
Yeah.
do it. That's so funny.
Yeah. Well, I think this was after Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it was after Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It was actually the last one that was done, I think, right? Like only
There
a
was
few years
one
ago.
in
It was like 5, 6 years
2017,
ago.
The Cult of Chucky.
Cult of Chucky. That's the other
That's-
one.
yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't
I
Curse.
didn't
thought
even,
you
there's
said
like
I said Curse. I
there
think
are like 3 of these that I haven't seen that I didn't even know existed.
it's this almost trio of Chucky's. There's the Bride of Chucky, the
Yeah.
Seed of Chucky, and the
And
Cult of Chucky.
came
Yeah.
out 2017 or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that was
I
only
need to
2
watch
years
That was
ago.
the last one.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised they were remaking it so quickly after this last one. That
I
came out.
think it's directors and people who were fans of the series.
Yeah.
But this person did it. Didn't he do it? The person that's
It
doing
was
it.
said producers of
The
it.
producers of
producers
it,
of
yeah,
it,
the
which
producers of
is
it.
isn't it Blumhouse? Is Blumhouse doing
It
this?
didn't say Blumhouse.
It didn't. That's true. But I'm wondering if Blumhouse is anywhere connected with this, or is just a single producer or two from it. Well, I'll tell you something because we love it. I think it was incredible. It seems like they're taking a page out of the book of it, right? With this remake. Did you notice the kids coming together to like
Yeah,
seek him out?
yeah.
That's not in the original movie at all.
No.
He's like
No.
a 4 or 5 year old kid in the original one. The kid can't do shit. I mean, he tracks down Chucky at one point at
Oh.
the safe house thing, and the house blows up, and he barely gets away. Like there are things where people think he's crazy. because he keeps telling them, no, Chucky's the one who killed the babysitter. Like, a babysitter gets killed, and they're thinking the kid fucking killed the babysitter. And he's like, yo, bitch, I ain't killing nothing. I'm like, I barely got motor skills, and it's the doll. The doll
I'm like
killed.
5 years old.
Yeah, I'm like 5 years old, and he ends up in a hospital. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But this new one, the kid looks a little older. And there's this whole thing where he's got other friends, and they seem to like. Wasn't there a scene with them all on bikes? I'm like, what is with this Stranger Things bike thing?
No, there's no scene with them.
And
Yeah, it looked like they were all together at one point. It looked like they were on bikes.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that. So I was reading like at the end of the second one. Apparently Chucky is like they stab his heart, they kill him, and then I guess this is the end of the second one. And then they apparently melt down his body, and then the body somehow is in the factory or whatever, and then the body ends up inside. Parts of his body end up in like a mass-produced amount of buddy dolls.
Oh, so
there's like this theory that like, you know, that he could possess all of those dolls simultaneously because each part of the plastic or whatever went into the making of all these other dolls. So I don't know, maybe they're going with that because they show the factory or whatever.
They do.
Or some sort of factory. I don't know if it's like the department store where she works or a factory. So
Yeah.
if they're doing the AI thing.
It seems like they're doing an AI thing and not a spirit.
Yeah, no, it's
thing.
so.
Yeah.
Here's my theory in it, because there's this weird in the basement guy that probably lives with his mom type of scene.
It does look like that. Yeah.
I feel that the guy hacks into the AI,
But
the
like,
doll, to try to steal stuff. But I think what happens is that he
Loses
does
control.
something
Skynet.
to release, kind of
Skynet.
like Skynet. He releases the AI, which the AI starts taking control, and then it goes on a revenge thing type of deal. But Self Grammy Smith, whatever.
Who's that?
He's the producer.
Seth Graham Smith.
Yeah, Graham Smith.
Seth
He's
Graham Smith,
he's
yeah.
the producer, and he's done Lego Batman,
Yeah.
Pride and Prejudice,
And
and
Zombies.
Zombies, and Dark Shadows
never
with
saw
with Tim Burton's movie
Burton.
with Johnny
Correct.
Depp and Michelle Pfeiffer.
oh wow, he did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh yeah, which is all the
Well, he was
that's
an
the,
actor
like
there,
the
so
Pride
it's
and
like
Prejudice and
out of all
Zombies.
those, that's my favorite one. I own that shit. 3D. It's amazing.
Are you serious? You on the 3D version?
Yeah, I saw that in theaters.
Abraham
in 3D.
Lincoln. That
I don't
wasn't
know
a
why.
bad
I
film.
love that.
Have you
That
seen
movie-
Steven Spielberg's Lincoln?
No.
What the fuck is wrong with
I
you?
see. I saw it. Yeah.
So when
good.
I watched that
Really
movie,
good.
I
That's
was like, this is a legit conspiracy theory that Abraham Lincoln was a vampire hunter. Like the way they handle that whole vampire infestation in the South, and that's why the North and the South fought, and Abraham Lincoln, like, you know, brought them all
Wielding his
together
axe.
to like stop the vampire invasion because they were basically taking over all
It's
the
a cool
Southerners.
concept. It's a book first.
It's a great concept.
Yeah.
I was like, this is really good. Like this alternate.
It's amazing
history.
that you've seen that, but you haven't seen Daniel Day-Lewis play Lincoln and directed by
Steven Spielberg.
That was an amazing film.
It's really good, by the way.
Is that on
really
streaming or
good?
something?
It might be. We have to look it up.
Oh, it's definitely
By the way,
streaming
it's
somewhere.
legit.
Yeah.
It's legit a solid fucking movie. Like it's really there's comedy in it that you don't expect. And you got people like James Spader, Sally Field, Tommy Lee Jones, all these people showing up throughout the movie. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it.
Yeah.
really good.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's you fucker. All right, so
I love Abraham Lincoln.
When he's fighting vampires,
a good
obviously.
guy.
Yeah.
good
So-
guy, dead guy,
So-
160.
Is he
years
dead?
ago. Yeah, unless he got bitten at the end of that movie.
Yeah, there you go.
So
That's what I'm saying.
back up. So the new Child's Play film, it's interesting because if they were going to do the soul possession kind of thing, or just do it as simply as they did in the original one, that wouldn't feel original enough. If they're going to do a kind of an AI that becomes too self-aware, that's interesting. You know, with the app connection where you can control it with the app and various other things like that. That brings an interesting twist onto it. And I feel like, although that's been done before, the AI that becomes so self-aware that it starts to kill humans, we've done that a million
Upgrade.
times. Yeah, Upgrade, Terminator, iRobot, I think did it. It's just been done a lot. So I'm interested, though, Oblivion even. I'm interested to see if they're going to kind of do an amalgam of the two concepts, where there's like a soul possession plus an AI thing. Like maybe it possessed. I don't know, or I really don't know what they're gonna fucking do, and I'm curious to see.
Yeah.
I will go see it for that, like just to see
Find out
what
what
they end up doing exactly.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think the AI aspect of it's because we're at that place of technology
Yeah, it's a little
being
more
so
relevant.
futuristic already.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it can be overplayed very easily. So it can be like, okay, well, this is not that cool.
We need a twist. We need an extra little
So we
something,
need-
like a Black Mirror-ish
Exactly.
thing that they do where
It
they
needs
hit
a
it from an angle
push.
you're not thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it needs it. So there's possibly, which that's why I feel like that hacker hacking into it. Then the twist is where the AI becomes so self-aware that it takes over, or even kills the hacker, because you do see a trailer of that guy in the
So
basement.
he's like a puppeteer, and this is like his Pinocchio.
boom,
Yeah, that's good.
Boom.
That's interesting. It's an
and then
interesting.
Pinocchio's like, "Bitch, I got
Yeah,
this."
he's like Geppetto.
Geppetto, you ain't worth shit. Bye, bitch.
So I was just reading this random fact. Brad Dourif's daughter plays one of the main characters in the last 2 Chucky movies that have come out.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Fiona Dourif. I was like, I saw the last name and I was like, is that their relation?
Yeah.
And that's
It's,
yeah, it's
Trivia
his daughter.
McGee over here.
Yeah,
He's
that's
going through
interesting.
finding these little tidbits. That's
Yeah, he's like,
interesting.
yeah.
I mean,
But I
you
don't-
know, if your dad's Brad Dourif, you're gonna be in a Chucky movie. Like that's just what's gonna happen.
It's his thing, man.
Here's my concern is that the push for Child's Play hasn't been as well received as it.
Right now, it's still. Oh, it's actually
it's
only
not
2
Stephen,
months.
It's not too
it's not
far
Stephen
out.
King. I mean,
Yeah, that is the difference. Is Chucky has done? It didn't have any remakes up until that one, whereas
Yeah.
Chucky's been almost overdone, including just 2 years ago we already had a
The-
film.
yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of fatigue when it comes to Chucky. Now, if this movie comes out and gets good word of mouth and solid critical praise, then I think people are gonna really
Check
latch
it out.
onto this. Yeah, I want to see it. I'll be honest. I'd go see this in the theaters. I want to see what they do. I
Yeah.
think it's interesting. I like that they're giving the kids, kind of making them more front and center. I love that trend we're doing. Hopefully it doesn't get overplayed, but that whole Stranger Things.
That's my concern. See, that's my
I
concern.
know.
It's
It's unfortunately like
gonna
that
be
is a
overplayed.
thing.
Kids everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the only 2 I've seen it in, and
Yeah,
I guess in
Stranger
recent, it was
Things.
really Well, with Stranger Things came out and then it.
Yeah.
But I don't. what
We
else?
should do it. We should do a
I haven't really
mockumentary.
seen that. Like, it's too obvious of a thing to have like a group of kids all fighting.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
it was done a million times in the 80s, and there is a kind of throwback to that. in
Yeah, I
those
guess they
things.
did do it a lot.
That's the whole point. There's
It
even
was like all of those
There's
movies.
like a
Goonies, Monster Squad.
There's like a college humor video about it. It was like, he's like, hey, Brad, you want to come get your bike? We're going to go out. He's like, dude, I'm not going to come out. Every time we go out, we run into a
oh,
pack
I
of
saw that.
zombies
Yeah.
or werewolves
talking
chasing
about,
us through
man?
the street
Yeah.
or we find a dead body. It's like there's always something. He's like, what are you talking about? Every time, man,
Oh,
on the
shit.
bikes. So there was a thing back in the day, and there
We should-
has been throwback.
It was probably
We
a
should
way
do
to
a
like
mockumentary.
capture the child's attention, our
About-
attention.
Yeah, about kids taking over Hollywood.
Kids taking over Hollywood.
Copywritten idea. Copywritten by Get to the Movies.
Can't copyright that.
They did
idea.
do that
That's
one.
so vague
Yeah, I
in
can.
general.
It
There's
was
no
with,
way that hold up in a court of
It
law.
was that Frankie
All right, just give me
Muniz did that
2%.
movie.
2%.
Cody Banks. That's the movie. He
Agent
takes
Cody
over.
Banks.
Agent Cody Banks. No,
Yeah.
wasn't there one he did where he like is taking over his studio and it's him and that actor who's like
Muniz.
Oscar nominated and it's like a goofball movie.
It should be like
oh, I know. Anthony Anderson,
Is that his name?
the guy from Hustle and Flow, Blackish, the guy from Blackish.
No. It's
We are so off topic.
yeah.
I hate when you ask me a question you don't know, and then I
Frankie-
want to answer it, but it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kid, but
He was in a movie, like you said, where it was like kids taking over Hollywood.
I don't know.
Oh,
Okay, but
So what's your? How do you feel about it? How do you feel?
Big Fat Liar.
Big Fat Liar. Okay, I've never seen it.
with
Who's the guy?
Paul Giamatti.
Oh no, I'm talking about like a mockumentary where you're like interviewing like actors and you're talking about how like kids are taking over like old people roles and shit like that.
I mean, that's the pattern, dude.
You know, like Clint Eastwood's talking about, I don't understand why I didn't get the part. You know, this 11-year-old fucking kid, took the role of an old man in a wheelchair.
Yeah. It's a college humor video, minimally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it still would be profitable, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like my idea for redo How to Catch a Predator with Betty White.
What?
What? It's not illegal to bang grannies, man.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Think
yeah.
about it.
They prey on old women.
If you do How to Catch a Predator with Betty White,
Jesus
that would
Christ.
be hilarious.
So there's like middle-aged men preying on like
for their money?
senior
Little kids
citizens.
For their money?
preying on Betty White.
Little kids. What the hell's going on? It would be like How to Catch Betty White at that point. Why is she trying to bang some little kid?
No, you wanna keep
that
the
would be
title.
dark.
That'd be on Betty White.
Well, 12-year-olds.
No, I'm not talking about that young. I'm just talking about young people, just 20s.
I think you need to think this out before you
All
start
right.
just flapping your lips about
It
it.
sounded profitable.
I don't know. Okay, so
Just
shit
kidding,
on
I'm
me.
kidding.
Okay,
I'm
back,
just
to,
rolling out stupid
back to
ideas.
Child's Play.
Yeah, let me just say that was a funny joke. No, I didn't create that or write the
Dude, just live with it, man. Live with
script.
Live
It's
with
not
it.
in
It
my
happened.
At least
drawer.
you didn't mention the word rape.
No.
This guy.
No, I hate
Triggered.
that word. I really do. I just hate that word.
Triggered.
That word has. I think I hate that word because it has so much negative context to it, and it's just. I think it's.
Yeah.
I understand when you say it, I know who you are.
Right.
You're just you, and I know you don't mean it in those terms.
Don't
but
mean it in those terms. I mean it exactly in the terms
You
I
mean
use
it,
it, but I don't
during
mean.
explanations.
Yeah.
You're explaining something.
I'll use the word. I'll drop the word.
But yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
I'll
I just
drop
don't
the
like
word
it.
rape. I'll drop the word murder.
Yeah,
assault,
I just don't like it.
abuse.
Yeah, you drop a lot of words. You
They're
just
just
don't
wor-
start your list because it just goes.
There are
downhill.
words I won't use. There are. I'm not
checked
stupid enough
out.
to use certain
What
words.
What are we talking about?
All
right, back to Chucky.
We're back to the whole rape subject.
All right, here's my here's my take on Chucky.
This is a
That
callback to an
again?
earlier episode, by the
That
way.
again?
It's actually a Pinocchio episode. It's perfect segue into Chucky is
Perfect
basically
segue, yeah.
Psycho Pinocchio.
yeah,
Go ahead.
It's true.
I go back. I'm always like, I don't know. I don't feel that this is gonna be that great.
Really?
I don't think it's gonna be an it.
What's the? Yeah, I don't think the storyline is as interesting and as original.
And it
as
could be. I could look.
It is more original than a doll comes to life trying to kill
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I've been
Wow.
wrong before.
Yeah.
But I don't. I don't think.
I found another fact that you guys might enjoy.
What's that?
There you go.
The director just revealed 2 days ago, apparently, that 80% of Chucky on screen is animatronic.
In the newest movie.
In the new movie, yeah.
Oh, good.
80%
that's awesome.
of it is like, animatronic
have you seen-
characters.
I like
They're
this-
he's like an anti-CG guy.
Yeah,
apparently.
That's good.
There is this thing where people are starting
He
to
did
go
Polaroid.
back to practical effects more
Because
and more.
You
Because
can tell
pe-
the difference.
I
Most
don't-
people can tell if it's
Yes.
something CG and
Yes.
maybe it'll look realistic enough, but the motion
Yeah.
is so unrealistic
some
that
things
you
you
can
do-
tell it's not.
Exactly.
He was the
real.
same director in Polaroid.
Yeah, Polaroid. Yeah.
Yeah, because the other Chucky movies in the last bunch of years have been CG Chucky. No, they have. Look it up. Look it up.
Not fully.
they
Not
were
fully.
like-
There's been a lot of CG Chucky. Check it out. I
Yeah.
don't think they're doing a lot of animatronics. No, just,
No, they
just
did
look it up.
animatronics.
Yeah,
I don't know. If
I'm
I've
talking
seen-
about the last few.
I'm talking about the seed,
Look at-
and
yeah,
I'm
look it
talking
up.
about
I think
Bride.
they were
and I'm talking about-
animatronics.
Look it up. I'm not sure.
There
it's
were.
true.
There were animatronics.
You are so
There was-
certain.
I am certain. I am 100%
Neil,
certain.
drop the bomb on this fucking guy.
Yeah, drop.
All right, well, you guys keep to
So-
talking.
What's- yeah.
I'll look up the
No,
facts.
Nick's
here.
the new
But
Google.
I like this trend back towards practical effects because they are better. I don't know why people thought they should do 100% digital. Now, there are certain ones you have to do. For instance,
Transformers.
Transformers, exactly. Planet of the Apes. Even the Avengers movies, like all those powers and those superpowers and those big world things, you're not going to do those practical because they're going to look ridiculous. You know what I mean? You have to do digital, and they look good in that. But when you start to do things like a doll coming to life, and then you make the doll, I'm like, we could tell it's not a doll come to life at this point. We could tell it's just a CG digital image. If you can do an actual thing that moves like it's a doll, then we buy it more, and we're more immersed in the reality of
It's
the
fitting.
situation.
The CGI has to be fitting. Like
Yes.
I always talk about one of my favorite werewolf transformation was from Hemlock Grove.
Yeah, I know you showed it to me. It's
It
gnarly.
was.
It looked real.
Yeah, it's all real, and a lot of it.
For me, it's Monster Squad. The
It wasn't
transformation of Monster Squad. The werewolf one. It's insane. He's spitting up the shit out of the side of his mouth. It's intense. We'll look at it afterwards.
Yeah.
You'll see. It's really good. It's
It looks
practical,
like
too.
the most recent one, the 2017 one, Curse of Chucky. There was CG Chucky.
Cult of Chucky.
there
Cult of
was
Chucky,
CG,
Cult of
but
Chucky.
was there
How much was-
animatronics?
I think in the previous two, it was like the animatronics, but in the most recent one,
it was full CGI.
it doesn't say full, but there's definitely
Yeah,
a
they
CG
that,
Chucky
was, that
running
was my
around.
whole point. Is that they didn't
What?
fully do CGI on it. It was
I
just
need to
a-
watch this now actually
Yeah.
because I'm reading this. The Curse. Is it the Curse of Chucky?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Cult. The
cult.
re-
Cult.
recent-
Yeah, it's the
recent
cult.
one?
Yeah, the cult of Chucky.
Are you talking about the 2017 one?
Which one is the Curse of Chucky?
There is a Curse of Chucky, isn't there?
I
mentioned
think
it
so. I
earlier.
think it was the last
Am I
of the three.
confused now?
Dude, you got Google in front of you. Use the shit.
Dude, Google is
There's
like a maze of
There's seven
nonsense.
films, right? I think the Curse of Chucky was within the first three, and then the Cult of Chucky was
First
Yeah.
three were all
Cult-
Child's Play.
Cult was
So
the
Yeah, but I
most
think it was
recent.
Child's Play 3, The Curse of Chucky.
Oh, maybe it had a tag on it.
Yeah.
This is so confusing. I don't know. Man.
Just look up Wikipedia, dude, and look at the Child's Play film series. It's not that hard.
doesn't- but that's
you look
like
like you fucking.
I looked
this
and
device in your hand.
I looked
You've had
at it.
for
It doesn't say like CG Chucky versus prosthetic
Okay.
Chucky. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
But I didn't know that Curse of Chucky ignores the fact that Bride and Seed of Chucky were made.
Oh, so
And then-
Cult or Curse?
This is Curse.
So there's a Curse before Cult.
There is a Curse of Chucky.
Yeah. And then Cult. So it's one of the last four, right?
Yeah, so Curse.
Then there are seven. This is the eighth film then.
No, you had Seed of Chucky and Bride of Chucky, and the Bride of Chucky was 98, Seed of Chucky was 2004.
We are fucking- look.
Curse of Chucky was 2013.
Yo.
It assumes that those two previous films didn't happen, and it is a direct sequel to the third Child's Play.
Right.
And the same character,
Dude, then this
the
is
same
the eighth
Charles
film.
Lee. What's his name? Charles Lee Ray.
Yeah.
Charles Lee Ray character is like the character in
Got it.
this one. So they kind of rebooted in a way in 2013. I didn't know that. I need to watch these.
Yeah,
now.
you got to watch them. But also
Oh,
that,
so
that means
here you
there's
go.
been
Here you
seven
go.
before, and this is the eighth.
Here you go. No, 2013.
Four since 98
Two-
and the original three.
2013 was
that
Curse
right?
of Chucky. 2017 was Cult of Chucky.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Yeah.
So, but
And
there's
then
the
there
originals.
there were fucking short films. Chucky's Vacation Slides.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
Chucky Invades. No, this is
Okay.
actually kind of cool.
Yeah, you're right. That article I read lied to me.
Yeah. So, okay.
There's seven, right? And there's the
There's
eighth one.
like a 2019 article that said there were like
So
six
1998,
movies.
there was Child's Play. 1990, there was
What?
Child's Play 2.
Yeah. 1993.
1991, there was
91.
Child's Play 3.
Okay.
Also known Child's Play. Look who's talking.
Is that what it says?
Are you kidding me?
No, I don't think that was the
The
tag. I think
19
that-
no, yeah, it's right here.
joke though. I think.
It's hilarious. 1998,
Look
there was
who's-
The Bride
look
of
who's
Chucky.
Stalking. Look who's
Look
stalking.
who's stalking. It's the
Stalking
tag on it. It's
yeah.
like it's a tag on the poster.
Yeah.
Look who's
1998, there was The
stalking.
Bride of Chucky. 2004 was Seed of Chucky.
Yeah.
2013 was The Curse of Chucky.
Right.
And then
Thought there was
2017 was The Cult of
Okay,
Chucky.
so I'm not crazy. There was
No,
a
you are.
curse. Yeah, okay, good.
No, you are
There was a
crazy,
cur-
but
yeah,
you're
there was
right.
a curse and a cult.
Yeah.
But also there were 7 movies, and this is the 8th.
This is the
technically,
8th
Chucky
film.
Oh wow,
Interesting.
So, yeah, Curse and Cult. I think that's where they started using CG.
Yeah, so there were. Like I'm saying, I the last couple have absolutely. They're
They
really
used
CG.
they used a lot
No,
of
but
CG,
it
but
sounded
there
like
was
there's a whole
animatronics
article on
in it.
how they're so happy they're going back to practical. I know. I think they were
Yeah.
majorly CG in those last 2 films. I'm telling you.
I've got to see Chucky's Vacation Slides. I want to see this. I really do.
Ridiculous. But yeah, so it's nice that they're going back to the original. Like it just necessity is the mother of all invention.
Yeah.
That also means that if you get rid of your computers, you get rid of digital and say, hey, you're not allowed to do digital in this film, then you all of a sudden go, shit, well, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make this more realistic? That's one way to do it.
If
Digital has its place, but it is not there to replace trying to be a practical filmmaker because you want to do shit in camera if you can. I'm just
Exactly,
I'm a big
and that's
proponent
a
of
lot
that.
of what I hear like J.J. Abrams talk about is like practical is it's where you want to go.
Yes, that's a J.J.
He's,
Abrams.
but he's
Nolan
he's
thing.
known as the flare guy.
Yeah.
He loves flares.
But that's a practical effect too.
but he loves it.
He doesn't add digital flares for the most
No,
part.
no,
He
yeah.
does actually a little bit because
He
like,
does-
when it's
he
off
does
the
a little
ship,
bit
when it's
'cause,
off
yeah.
the Enterprise, that's got to be.
No, yeah, and so, but always try to do it practical because it helps tell the story more than CGI. I feel
Right.
and then CGI is actually like the filler. So
Oh, wow.
just fill in the holes.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
It's a
like
good blend.
in 80-20, like which is the new Child's Play, 80% of Chucky
Yeah.
is practical and animatronics, and the 20% is CGI. That's a good percentage.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's just when it becomes 80% CGI, 20% animatronics, or just 100% CGI, it takes you out of it a little bit.
Here's the thing. What I
Especially
want to
if
see
it's from a
films do.
film series that started on practical.
Here's what they should have done. They should have done what the latest film was it just Kong? Was it Kong?
Kong Skull Island. Yeah.
Kong Skull Island. What they did to advertise. Did you know in LA what they did is they put footprints of Kong
Oh
to the theater?
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's
I
fun.
remember they did that. Yeah.
They should have done something like
They should
that.
just connect up with like a toy manufacturer and actually release a Chucky doll.
And actually, really,
Like a
I
full-
think they
for
would've-
children.
Oh,
Name
not
Buddy.
even that.
Name
Or
Buddy.
just go to certain toy stores and say, "Hey, can we put one of our models in here?"
Yeah.
And just have it do crazy things like on your
I
window.
mean,
and stuff.
they're not, but it's gonna
That's
be hard.
freaking amazing.
They're not promoting it to children. Like you would have to figure out a way to do it in a way that's being pushed towards.
But if you're walking in a
young
mall
adults.
and you pass a toy store
that has a Chucky
and
doll,
that
in
has a
it,
Chucky
I
doll
would go
and it's
in.
doing weird things,
Yeah.
tell me that would not catch your attention.
It would, but like kids would just walk in and start crying or something. Like, they would-
That's
Well, that's
okay.
what you want for a horror franchise.
yeah, but it would just get too out of hand. Like I could see it going wrong.
It's still, I could see it going wrong, but I could see it going so right.
I'm
for
actually reading a
us,
couple.
for the adults. Yeah.
I'm reading a couple articles here where it's actually saying that these last two films were not really CGI, the Curse and Cult of Chucky,
No, they
and
weren't.
how they've actually been really trying to stick with animatronic puppets. This
Yeah,
entire
that's what I
series.
felt,
Yeah,
yeah.
I guess you're right. I really like if you watch some of the things though, I'm like, there's
Yeah.
no way that's animatronics, and they might be that I'm only thinking of the scenes where there was CGI.
Yeah. That's what I felt you were doing. I didn't think
It's
you weren't
probably,
wrong.
you know, like
Yeah,
the
it was-
disconnected scenes where it's like you see them flying through the air or something,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading this article that says the guy who
Wait.
apparently-
Let's go back to Nick saying, "Hey,
you're
drop the
right.
bomb on Tiago."
Yo, bomb the drama, yeah. Drop the bomb on Diego.
This guy, the creator Don Mancini, apparently has worked on the franchise since the beginning.
That's what I was just reading about him too. Yeah.
He's on the new one, right?
No,
not?
they apparently started the reboot without his input, and then I guess he found out after the movie was already being made or in production, and apparently he was like super
Ranting.
upset.
I wonder if he sold. Did he?
And
have
it's the reason
rights?
Brad Dourif is not in it is because Brad Dourif's like with him, the
What?
guy who
Why do people
created
do this
Chucky,
shit?
and the
People are so
studio is just like, fuck this guy, he's old. Let's start some.
You know
new
what's
shit.
funny? Whenever I see things
Always
like
get
this,
input.
like somebody didn't get a call out of courtesy, you know, like it happens all the time. Like somebody who was involved in the original and thought they were making one with him, all of a sudden one gets started without actually even at least a courtesy call, and people are like, "Oh, they're such assholes." I'm like, it's not an asshole thing. They're pussies. It's a coward thing. It's this thing where people just don't want to have confrontation, and it's so ridiculous. I'm like,
Yeah.
call up somebody and speak to them. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's just you're being too pussy.
So this is what
I hate it.
This is what is. I guess he tweeted this or something, or maybe this is from an interview. The Mancini guy. He says MGM retained the rights to the first
I'm
movie,
waiting
so they're
for
rebooting
Mancini.
that. Yeah.
Princess Bride.
It says they asked producer David Kirshner and I if I wanted to be executive producers. We said no, thank you. So they did. They did. Offer,
Okay.
because we have an ongoing, thriving business with Chucky. Obviously, my feelings were hurt.
Why didn't
yeah,
he want to do
I
it?
don't-
Feelings are hurt. He said no, thank you.
Well, they basically contacted him and like, look, we own the rights to this, the first movie, so we can reboot it. But he owns the rights, I guess, to all of his later movies. So he's gonna like. It could be weird. We have this weird war where he continues the franchise his way, and then you have MGM
Interesting.
doing their reboot thing on their own.
So he'll continue Child's Play, and they'll
It's
continue
weird.
Chucky.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they have Child's Play. They have the rights to the first one.
Oh God. Oh, so they'll continue
But
Child's Play.
you know
and
why
he'll
they're doing
continue Chucky.
this? Like they're doing this because of the success of Halloween. Like they made that
Oh,
Halloween
100%.
reboot, and now
and it too.
and
I'm
yeah.
sure. Like this, all of
And you know
Pet
what's gonna
Sematary.
happen?
I actually love
it's
it. I'm
brilliant. It's
I think
brilliant.
it's great
because they didn't really nail what they wanted to when they did the Halloween reboot or the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. But then all of a sudden, you give it a few years and
come on.
yeah.
were those really?
But they remade those movies. You know what I mean?
But those
And
were
they just
trying to
didn't-
be Scream, is what they were trying to be.
What I'm saying
they
is
were all trying to.
it
capture
weren't done
that
right.
success.
That's what I'm saying. They weren't
Yeah.
done right. They didn't catch on. But then all of a sudden, in the last year or two, you got it, and you got
yeah. What happened?
Halloween, and it's
Who
it's
are
just-
these
it's
young
that-
unknown directors that show up out
Danny
of nowhere
McBride is
and
not-
then like bang out like
No,
an
some of these guys-
incredible throwback?
No, the Halloween ones are older guys. I mean, like they're middle, like
They're
Danny
veteran,
McBride.
yeah.
They're veteran guys, and there's this thing where it's like this development and this progression of filmmaking. You learn from the mistakes. They probably learned from the mistakes
Yeah.
of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, no, I mean,
and
I'm
Halloween.
saying like, I thought you meant like the guys who directed like the original
Oh, yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
You know, the guys who did
Wes Craven and John Carpenter.
Yeah.
for Halloween.
Yeah, like well, not those guys, but yeah, those guys. And then when they turned it over, when Wes Craven walked
Yeah.
away, and then you had these other unknown directors
Oh, I get
come
what you're
in
saying. Yeah.
at the time, unknown, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they
For
took over the
sequels.
franchise for sequels and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm talking about the reboots.
Yeah.
Like where they tried rebooting some of these iconic film franchises before, it didn't work. But why is it all of a sudden working in the last year or two? And I think it's because
I don't know.
you learn
The right
you learn
people in
from
the right
mistakes.
place.
Yeah, right people, right place.
Right
and you learn from the
formulas
mistakes.
work.
Yeah, you learn from the mistakes of the earlier ones.
Yeah, right formulas
And-
work.
yeah.
And you see that when you see films that have like the proper casting, just like it. They casted the right kids for the right roles,
Right.
and it just worked well. And it comes together.
I'm like hoping
when you have
the
these
sequel
people that don't like each other
up.
or just these issues where you just don't concentrate on the proper casting for the roles, or you
Yeah.
just settle in for someone, you can see it fall apart very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully they obviously I think that being focused on kids, I think this kid on the new Child's Play is going to be a carrier of the film.
Yeah.
So
And
I
the
hope
original
that
was a carrier of the film too, but this one looks older and more.
This one
with
looks
it.
more like. It's interesting because kids his age to me today don't play with dolls, so I'm trying to connect that right there in the story.
Yeah, we gotta watch them exactly. But it's like a CG.
Kids,
Yeah, I don't know.
If it's like an AI doll that
Yeah.
like can you can interact with, like I could totally see a kid.
He might
today
be a
with his
loner.
No,
And
but he
kid-
used his cell phone to sync up with the doll.
Yeah.
Like all of that, they have that Mimo.
Yeah.
that little robot
Meebo.
thing that looks at you and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Camera
what it's
sending
called.
Kills
it
you in
to
your sleep. Yeah, that
sending
one.
it to Jeff Bezos, sending all your photos to Jeff. Anyway,
That's what my nephew has, and it's crazy because sometimes it gets angry and goes ta ta ta. And
No.
oh yeah,
Yeah, dude. It
Fucking,
emotes.
that's when you punt
It
that thing
emotes.
right out the window.
No, it's like $200.
and it's $200.
Dude, man,
Yeah.
you're not gonna
It's
punt your $200
crazy.
investment. You calm it the fuck down. You
calm it
apologize.
down.
You propitiate. You're like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guy.
That's
Are you
exactly
okay?
it.
You know, you talk softly to it, and then it's like,
You put your hand on his shoulders. Get the fuck off me, you filthy slut. I'm fucking teach you to fuck with me. I will virus the hell out of your computers.
All right, guys.
oh, Brad.
So let's see what happens. Maybe we'll come back and talk about it once it comes out. See how.
are you
Are
gonna?
you
We
seeing
should see it in theaters.
We
We should make an
And we'll do
agreement
it.
now.
It comes out in June.
$7.
We haven't seen Pet Cemetery yet.
My
Look at
next
that. I need to
$7
see
towards
that.
entertainment right now is aimed towards.
$7. Disney Plus. Is that what? It is?
Yeah, exactly. No,
That's happening.
Apple streaming.
You don't know
yeah.
how much Apple streaming is.
No,
Yeah,
I know that
it's
was Disney
$7.
Plus. Apple, I don't think released it. You're thinking
Apple did
Disney
release
Plus.
it.
I think you're confusing with Disney Plus released.
Am I?
They're $7.
Disney Plus
Can we
is
do another
$6.99.
Diego drop the bomb?
Yeah.
Do it.
Hey, yo, Neil, drop the
Neil,
bomb on
drop the
Diego.
bomb. Drop
Did
the bomb.
Apple Plus release a price?
I think
No, they
they
did- they
I
did.
think it's
No, no,
Apple.
no,
Let's
you're
see.
thinking of
Let's
Disney
see.
Plus.
I want to.
Okay,
Right.
but while you're saying that, the beginning of this trailer starts with the Orion Pictures,
The
logo
original.
thing, the original,
The
one,
original.
and I love
that.
I love that. That's a throwback, man. Anybody who came up in the 80s and the 90s watching home videos remembers that Orion Pictures.
They didn't.
Yeah,
They
they
didn't.
didn't release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't released the cost
Diego,
yet.
you undid
Wait,
all.
wait. I just want to verify.
Apple's gonna come out and be like, $40 or some bullshit, and they're like, you're getting the premium service.
No, they're gonna do something
of
like
the
$7
greatest.
because they want
Are
because Netflix just upped their price
Nothing
again.
about Apple's affordable.
Netflix just upped their price again. It's like $14-15 a month.
But
and
they're
and
not
these other
trying to
guys-
compete. They're letting everybody know that if you buy their service, you're getting the best you could possibly get. So they're going to charge that
Netflix,
premium.
it's their
for
only
it.
source of income, whereas over on Apple and Disney, it's not their only source of income. Like they have other revenue streams, and this
Well,
is just
Netflix
one of
is-
many, so they could charge less for it because it's the cost is offset by
But
other things.
Netflix has established itself as,
They're losing all the shit they were established on. They're not
What do
established
you
on
mean?
originals.
No, I'm talking about originals like
All right,
Stranger
we're
Things. There's so many
random
original,
tangent.
original content
Orange is the
on
New
there.
Black, House of Cards. They do have that, and that's really good. But
Yeah.
they got it. I don't know. They're trying this model of like almost going to only originals because all this other
Yeah.
shit's being taken off. And
I'd
don't
be
know,
okay with
because
that.
they were
I'm
built
okay
on
with
the
that.
back
That's
of
what Apple's going to be.
Yeah,
They're gonna be
I
an
mean,
HBO.
They're gonna have to. They have to do it to survive.
They're gonna be an
HBO.
HBO.
Yeah, Netflix has to do it to survive. I agree. I'm not saying they're making a wrong choice, but it's
Yeah,
it's
they'll
fucking
get
dicey.
Orion
That's-
Studios to
that's-
give them their backlog.
But how many people
catalog.
have it? How many people have Netflix because they watch The Office over and over and over, or It's Always Sunny?
I don't
remember?
think I've ever watched. Yeah, It's Always Sunny. I watched all
when
the
they
time.
lost,
but
when
I
they
never
went
watched
off,
The
how much
Office.
did that upset you though?
I haven't watched it since. I know it, and I have Hulu, and it's on Hulu. But those fucking commercials.
Oh, you don't have ad-free Hulu? Get it?
I
I
don't
have it.
ad for
I have
Hulu.
it.
I'm not actually paying for Hulu. I'm borrowing my
wait, did you-
sister's,
you're
and she's gonna
fucking-
cancel it
Did you
because
just
she
commit a
never
crime on
watches it.
podcast?
Huh? No.
I have it.
No, I didn't say I was going to give it to him. I said I would give him the CBS one earlier, but I'm not going to give him the fucking Hulu one.
You're not gonna give me the Hulu?
No, man.
Dude, if you give me the Hulu, I'm gonna fuck up your whole playlist or
Fuck your
whatever.
couch.
I'm
This is
gonna
Section
start
8,
watching
bitch.
all kinds of crazy shit.
All right, before one of us goes to jail, I want to thank you guys for joining us here at Get to the Podcast. Let's get to the podcast with the number 2. My name is Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
What the fuck was that?
I'm Nick Gambino, you Philly slut. I'll fucking get you to fuck with me. It's so...
It's funny.
It's funny.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.